All right. Thanks everyone for joining Hoops with a Purpose podcast. And this week we have Sammy Stipa with us. Sammy, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I think we need some sound effects, just until we get some better audio recording, I'll just make the sound effects myself. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. I'm really excited. I heard some other podcasts, and honored to be here, really.
Yeah, we appreciate it. And for those of you who don't know, Sammy played at Springford High School, where she averaged about 13 points a game, numerous awards, which will probably take up the length of this episode.
How much time do we have?
She was a finalist for the PIAA MVP award, the first team PIAA All-State selection. She was named Pottstown Mercury Player of the Year, member of the District 1 and PIAA State Champion team, first team All-Montgomery News, first team All-Pac-10, Philadelphia Inquirer All-Southeastern PA Player of the Year, first team All-Southeastern PA, and finalist for Miss PA Basketball. Also, Springford Mount Rushmore Award for being named one of the top 4 girl athletes in Springford history, and just played a little bit of soccer as well. Was first team All Pac-10 for that, and first team All Area.
Is that it? That's all the awards you got?
That's just high school, so
I don't know. Seems like we could have did 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, then she went on to play at Lafayette, and where she started point guard sophomore year and after, and she was captain her junior and senior year. She scored in double figures in 7 games during her junior year, and finished tied for 8th in the conference in steals per game and 8th in total steals. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's take 10 seconds of silence for all that. That's impressive.
Seriously.
I appreciate that. A lot had to do with Coach Sharr, I have to say. So,
well, we're looking forward to getting into some of that.
Exactly. Well,
yeah. So, obviously, we've known you and your family for a while, Sammy. But for those who don't know you, can you maybe elaborate a little bit? How many years did you work out with Coach Sharr, and what kind of impact did he have on you?
No, of course. So I went back and started with Coach Sharr. Actually, I was in 4th grade, so I mean, we go way back. So that's been about 12 years now. I've always been that person who went to his camps. I hear about definitely sports camps. And then also I knew people who went to his gym, and actually that's kind of how I got started going to him. Is I think 2 of my cousins were going, and they went up to my dad and like, you know what, you should get her going at Coach Sharr's, and the rest is history. So I've been there for a while, and obviously he lost a huge impact on me. I mean, you can imagine, like, every time I went to the gym, I always look forward to having a conversation with him, because not only did he help you like physically, right, with like helping ball handling, shooting, any of that aspect, but also mentally, really. He wasn't only a coach, but funny enough, like, he was kind of like also a therapist in a way. The best of both worlds. And I think that's something maybe I'll go into a little later, but he helped me build that confidence. I never always had the most confidence in myself, which maybe people don't believe. But he helped me build that, and that's probably where I got to where I am today. And that's really the impact he made on me. So yeah.
That's great. And 4th grade, wow, that's even sooner than I thought. I mean, that's going way back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Definitely Sport. Where did you go to Definitely Sports? What locations?
So it was in the Springford area. I think it was the Springford 9th grade center. That's the one I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
Top of memory when I was younger. And then also the 7th grade center. Even growing up, I think there was a PV one at the middle school. So went there. I had some great memories there, I remember I used to play against the boys, and we were doing the 101 like competition, and I was beating all of them, and all of a sudden the coach was like, "Oh, Coach Sharr, come out, watch her." It was just like memories like that. So
that's hilarious.
He was scouting players in 4th grade at
yeah, he was.
Sports.
He was.
I'm glad I didn't go to PV camps. I probably would have gotten shown up.
Yeah, probably.
Smart
My
choice.
sister always beat me at the hill school camps anyway. So, oh wait, we're live. Did I just say that?
We'll edit that out. Awesome. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your high school and college basketball journey? You know, it's not always super easy transitioning from high school to college ball. So, talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was so transitioning, I mean, it was obviously always easier, with with everything that coaches taught me. He always made sure that you're not only physically but mentally prepared, going into college, what to expect. I mean, that was probably the biggest thing for me, is that he always made sure I was prepped for college and making sure I aimed to hit that goal. Um, also my parents weren't very knowledgeable about the process getting into college, so he helped with the recruiting process a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Even spring forward, it's the first one to really go to Division I basketball. So even the coaches, they were trying to help, but coach was a lot. Coach Sharr was always the one that really gave the best advice at the most part there.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me the advice, to always go to the Rebels, which was like an AAU organization, making sure I go there. So, I feel like I played the best of the best. So, going from high school to college, my transition was pretty easy. I mean, obviously it was always a little fast paced. So that was probably the one thing of like, making sure I get up to speed. And, I caught up pretty quick, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he did really, really make sure that I was prepared. I was always at his gym. I was always playing against the boys, always the older guys. So, I was always playing against the better competition no matter what, always pushing myself. And he definitely made sure of that.
Yeah.
And that also comes in with the confidence too. That piece.
Yeah. That's my memories of Sammy, is always playing the boys at his gym.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, always a good time, and good basketball for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest memories I have, I kind of laugh about it. I remember the first time I played with the boys, I was a little intimidated, right? I was actually in with Paul Mills. Who Paul is.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I remember I was younger, he played with PJP on that great team. I know they were big rivals to Springford at the time of the guys basketball. So, so I remember, of course, I was really intimidated going into it. If he ever asked me again if I said that, I did not say that. He's an okay player, not very good.
Well,
No.
When we have Paul on the podcast, we'll have to ask him if he was intimidated going up against you.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Let me know. That one.
That's so funny.
No, but we came in and I was playing against him, or not playing against him. Actually, Coach Sharr put me with him. And I remember I was just nervous playing with the guys, and he just kept passing me the ball. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, I'll pass it right back, because I just got nervous. And all of a sudden he's like, pass it right back to me. He's like, go to work. And I'm like, pass it right back. And I'm like, no. And so like he just kept feeding me and feeding me and feeding me. He's like, go to work, go to work, go to work. And then at that point, I just kept trying and trying no matter what. And then it finally things started clicking. And I think that was honestly the biggest turnaround in my confidence. That was a big moment. I remember Coach Sharr and Paul looking at each other, like smiling, laughing, like, yeah, like this is working.
That's so funny. I love that
awesome.
story.
Yeah. So that was probably a memory that stuck out to me, because that was the first time, going against the boys, better competition, like, oh, I got this. All right.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Yeah. Well, that may be the answer to this next question, but kind of on that note, what's the best thing you learned from Coach Sharr?
Yeah, confidence, gotta say that. But even on top of that, I mean, he also helps with like tackling really any areas of improvement you needed, right? Like I would come back from like a tournament or like a game and be like, oh man, I was terrible in this aspect, right? Like my shot was off, or like something went wrong, and he'd be like, all right, we're working on it today. Like, let's go. Like set it up right away. And I mean, for that full hour, I mean, we would go hard at it and make sure that I was like, feeling good about it.
Yeah.
So like, that's what I loved is, like after any game, after any week, like, he would be like, all right, what do we need to work on? How do you feel? Like, And like right there, he would like pinpoint it and be like, all right, let's go to work. Let's do these drills. It's like that
Yeah.
I loved.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of his good qualities too, is like being super flexible. Like it's not like he was like, Sam, this is what we got planned. This is what we're doing. Like he would, get your feedback and then do, go accordingly with drills and
Yeah, it's not like he opened up a notebook and was like, all right, this is what I got planned for today.
yeah.
It was very
Oh, yeah.
he listened and then focused on those things that the player kind of brought to the table.
Exactly. I mean, that was the best quality in him. He just always listened, and yeah, there was never any set plan. It was just like, what do we need to do today? What do you guys want to do? And it's like, all right, I love it.
Yeah, for sure. So next question, and a little bit of a tough question, but what advice can you give to any middle school or high school students today who are looking to be as successful as you on the court?
Yeah, I mean, definitely have some advice. The first thing that hits home to me is that what I knew I had to do was, I did have to sacrifice a lot of my social life, at least to get to the goal that I wanted to get to Division 1. I did miss the birthday parties. I missed a lot of dances. I missed all that just because I knew I always was in the gym. I always wanted to get better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just making the sacrifices where you can. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but also, other things are like, don't fear failure at all. Making sure you have confidence in yourself, always bounce back quickly. But that was also a good thing that coach gave me is that, like came back, didn't do so well in a game or in a tournament, always bounce back quickly, making sure that, get right back on track. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because that always happens. Sometimes your game just fluctuates and you just got to get right back on track and bounce back.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
Yeah.
I think
And
it's like control what you can control. I mean, some things just don't always go your way, but a big one is just like, you're going to have those naysayers at time or doubters. Look, I'm 5'5". You guys probably know, I'm not tall at all. Many people doubted that, always said, are you sure you want to go Division 1? Don't know if you're gonna make it with your height, but I worked my butt off, and I know Coach Sharr wanted to make sure too that we'll reach that level of D1 if possible. So, and we did. So,
mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
oh, so worth it. I had so much fun. Now, I mean, like when you play in college, doesn't matter what level, really. I mean, that was my goal, Division 1, but whatever level, I mean, you're playing against the best players. And like that right there is just like an awesome experience in itself. So
Absolutely. Yeah, so I know you talked a little bit about, some good memories playing the boys and Paul Mills and all of that, but any other memories that come to mind, or maybe a funny story, or did coach have any nicknames for you? Um
I'm
yeah.
trying to think. I mean, he definitely called me Stip all the time. I don't know if you guys ever heard that. Like my last name, Stip. A lot of people
Mhm.
call me that. He always did. I'm trying to think of like funny stories. I mean, I could think of one time. I just think of like the biggest moments that pop in my head. Like one of them was like when I was a freshman in high school. I was trying out for the high school team. And I remember I told him like, hey, like, I made the varsity team. Don't think I'll be a starter. Maybe I'll play for a little bit for the JV. Not really sure. And then all of a sudden I came back like the next day and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start in my first game. And he just starts like laughing. And I'm like, good response. And also he's like, I knew this the whole time. Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, well, I guess I should have known.
That's so funny. Yeah. The confidence that he had in each one of his players was truly remarkable. I mean,
Yeah,
just
that was huge. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he was not only just a coach to me, he was really like a family figure, like a father figure.
mhm.
He was there for like every single big achievement that I had in high school. Things that I didn't even think I could accomplish. I mean, going to districts, going to state finals. I mean, those are things that you dream of as a kid that you would never think you'd reach. Like that is like
Mhm.
wow, like, whoa, like, I did that. And like, he was there for all those moments. And, even being the Miss PA basketball finalist, I mean, he came to the Capitol with me in that competition. So it's just cool. He was there from like start to finish, from like all of the
Yep.
whole journey. I mean, that's just pretty cool. And like someone like that impacted me. I mean, you can see also taking a step back now, like how many people he actually impacted. I mean, it's pretty incredible and how many people he connected with.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I feel like as a coach, it was also different because a lot of our coaches, even in like high school, we have the same coach like 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4 years if you're on the same like level. But in college, obviously, you have the same coach. But I feel like he got the opportunity to coach players from like young age all the way through, like you know, through college, and build that relationship both on the court and off the court.
Yep.
Yep. And as you go through different seasons and different stages of your life, I mean, it's pretty incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he also brought a community of basketball players together. I mean, I was 100% that girl that, I would play someone, they're like really good, I'd be like, oh, hate that girl, You see them in the gym, you're like, oh man, really? Like, but then after a while, you're like, wow, they're actually like really nice, and then you become friends with them. If you
We
haven't
could
had that
actually be
experience-
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like I'm telling you, when you're younger, you probably had that experience. Don't lie to me.
Oh yeah. I mean, so many dumb things we think as
So
we're
many dumb.
kids.
I'm like, wow, we are like probably so similar. I'm like, wow, why did I hate her? Like I have no idea. There's no reason other than she was good at basketball. Really funny thinking about it like that. And then coming to Coach Sharr's. I mean, a lot of good girls from my area went to Coach Sharr's, and I mean, it was just an environment where you become good friends with them, and sacrificing a lot of my social life. My friends like that who didn't play basketball or like understand why I was sacrificing a lot of my social life, not being always hanging out parties and stuff. These girls kind of understood, and like, that feels good, kind of like a similar ground. They understand. So just amazing. Got to meet so many people there.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So what was one of your favorite drills? If you can think of any.
I would say first the 3-point shot competition. So if you guys know, like you had like 3 people on each side, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, you have like 5 minutes. Whoever gets to like, I guess there was no time limit actually, but whoever gets to 21st wins. And there
Yeah.
was a prize. Like that's the funny thing. And I was just so competitive. Like, all right, people, like get your stuff together. Like we're winning. If we didn't win the first time, like, all right, best out of 3, let's go. Like
Yeah, he'd always be saying like, "Hey, Kel, can you stop at Wawa and get, a $5 gift card, or can you get some mini Gatorades, or
oh
it
my
just
gosh, I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yes, it was. Yes.
yeah." He loved giveaways. Absolutely loved it.
That is so true. That was what he was known for. I can't believe I forgot that. But yeah, he's so known for, especially the Wawa gift cards. I know that. That was a big one. That was
so funny.
Should have bought stock in Wawa's not public, but
Yeah.
should have bought stock in some of the things he was giving gifts out.
I know.
But the other good thing, another drill I really liked, I didn't like not really a drill, but like things he would teach me is like, well, first just regular ball handling, but then he would do like the nifty tricks. Like, like there was one where like I had to balance 2 balls like on top of each other, and then all of a sudden flip the top ball underneath the bottom ball. I don't know if he ever showed you that one.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like nifty things that are just like probably had nothing to do with actually basketball. But
Hey, it's coordination.
yeah, that's true. Okay. Like bragging rights, like, look, I can do this. Can you? Probably not,
Yeah. I loved the tennis ball over the shoulder, or if he'd like throw the basketball over your shoulder and you'd have to catch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a cool
Quick
one.
reflexes there.
Mm-hmm.
Any like nifty trick, like if you see me play in any game and I done something probably nifty, like like a spin at the basket, no look pass, behind the back pass, 100% that was Coach Sharr teaching me that. Not even lying.
Funny.
And the funny thing is that all those drills that he taught me, like the the cool ones, the ball handling ones and stuff like that. Like I actually like train girls nowadays, and I actually use those drills for the girls.
That's
Which is
awesome.
really awesome. So, something that I really enjoyed, like honestly, it makes me happy just to like show them that and have them do it, and they enjoy it too. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. So along those lines, are you still hooping a lot?
oh my gosh, I'm not. I'm actually not. I used to. When I graduated college, I actually played back with the high school girls, so like Sarah, Mariah,
Mm-hmm.
Meg. I mean, we played in that KOP tournament. With the older girls, and they kind of had their college girlfriends play on our teams too. But we used to play, and then COVID hit, and then it just stopped. So no, I got to get back into it. That's for sure. But I've been kind of coaching other girls instead.
Yeah,
Again.
absolutely. Yeah. Well, we appreciate your time today, Sammy.
It's been great.
It's been great. A lot of laughs and a lot of good stories.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and just cherishing some moments that we had with him. I think is awesome. So thank you.
Absolutely.